going on, everybody? If you're just joining me, I'm just gonna have a relaxed stream. I'm gonna look at this weird anomaly in the sky that we had yesterday, and there's a lot of speculation going on about this. So we're gonna check it out. I'm just gonna make sure everything is working all right for my stream, all that jazz. Okay, cool. We are live. If you are with us, head on over to tinyurl.com/HoriLive1 to chat. I'll pop that in the Restream IO chat for anybody. And I'm going to be playing some Wii Sports Resort. I'm going to be boxing and playing some archery maybe and some sword fighting. I don't know. And then I might switch to football. Just having fun, relaxing. And if you have any questions about anything, just ask. I'm here, just chilling. So let's get started. And what I'm going to be streaming is Jeranism's video. So check out the Jeranism channel. He talks a lot about NASA and the stuff that NASA does to kind of fake what's going on. And yeah, I think they're lying to us about a whole lot of stuff, but you be the judge. Here we go. Let me know if I need to fix the volume.
It could be a camera effect, I'm sure, but I also think it's awfully interesting. Let's continue on. In my opinion, you'd have to be behind some sort of piece of glass or something in order for that to be seen like that.
Wait just a minute.
And I want to watch this first because we're going to compare this to some of the other.
It's going to be a lot easier for me
on the ground.
to hear that if it's right here in my ear. So I got my headphones.
Now, I'm not doubting that they launch something at all. In fact, I think that they do. But I think that we get tricked coming up right about here.
Plus a minute 10 in the flight. We've just gone through throttle down and throttle back up on the Falcon 9 first stage.
So remember, that was a minute 10.
Let's start the game up. Just give me a minute.
First stage continues
A few things I want to do.
Engines headed downrange away from Vandenberg Air Force Base.
And the trick is coming up here shortly. Let's see how far are we away. Move you forward a little bit. There we go. So you're going to get the first stage separation here.
2 minutes in the flight, getting it
2
ready
minutes.
for ignition. Next major event coming up in 30 seconds is shutdown of the 9 first stage engines, followed by stage separation and ignition of the second stage engine. Shortly after that, we hope to get a view of payload fairing separation from the second stage.
So 2:30 supposed to be separation.
Here we go.
Marking this stuff down, we're going to go through some of the ground videos shortly. Now that's the part I wanted people to look at. Let me go back here and see if we can see this again. Okay, so watch. Let me see if I can pause this. And I'm going to try and zoom here. Hopefully that worked for everyone as well. Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's see what he's talking
So
about here.
Be seen like that. And I wanted to watch this first because we're going to compare this to some of the other videos taken by people on the ground.
Look at this thing. This is an older
Yeah,
video, but
I'm
what
not
we saw
doubting
recently
that
was
they
something
launch
like this.
something at all. In fact, I think that they do. But I think that we get tricked coming up right about here.
Plus a minute 10 in the flight. We've just gone through throttle down and throttle back up on the Falcon 9 first stage.
So remember, that was a minute 10.
We've gone through max Q on the first stage. First stage continues to look good on the engines, headed downrange away from Vandenberg Air Force Base.
And the trick is coming up here shortly. Let's see how far are we away. Move you forward a little bit. There we go. So you're going to get the first stage separation here.
2 minutes into flight, getting it
2
ready
minutes.
for ignition. Next major event coming up in 30 seconds is shutdown of the 9 first stage engines, followed by stage separation and ignition of the second stage engine. Shortly after that, we hope to get a view of payload fairing separation from the second stage.
So 2:30 supposed to be separation.
We're just
So
doing an
now we're
audio
gonna go
test.
through some of the ground videos shortly. Supposed to be separation.
We're just doing an audio test.
Some of the ground videos. Now that's the part I wanted people to look at. Let me go back here and see if we can see this again. Okay, so watch. Let me see if I can pause this. And I'm going to try and zoom here. Hopefully that worked for everyone as well. Yeah, I think so. All right, so I'm going to press play again, and I'm going to slow it down a little. I want you to watch the right side over here. I'm actually get a little bit more of this one here. Let me see if I can get us a little bit more of this screen here. Back it up just a hair. And let's zoom here. Okay. And I do have it on slow, so just so you know, that's why it's coming across that way. But there's something I want to look at here leading up to so-called separation.
Just watching what he's saying over here. This is good stuff. I mean, they're really messing with us on so many different accounts. It's a little ridiculous. Not even gonna sugarcoat it.
Missed it a little bit. Let me go back 2 seconds here. What are we at? Okay. Okay, we'll watch it from here rather than...
Welcome to the Flatsmackers
Alright, watch this right
live channel if you're watching me on YouTube. Or the Horty Sheet Show or Horty Sheet Games if you're there on Twitch. How's it going?
See if you see this.
What are you doing for Christmas Eve?
The other thing I wanted to look at, and this is more noticeable in some of the other videos, right there. See that there? Okay, just wanted to show you that. I mean, it looked like something blew up, exploded, was shot.
Alright, I gotta see that again. Gotta see that again, and I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit bigger of a video here.
See if you see the same thing that I saw. The other thing I wanted to look at, and this is more noticeable in some of the other videos, right there. See that there? Okay, just wanted to show you that. I mean, it looked like something blew up, exploded, was shot, something. Let's go ahead and speed this back up. And we're going to look at this here, because now here comes the trick. There was your trick.
Yeah, there's your trick.
Unbelievable. So what we've all said those of us talking about the nonsense that is SpaceX, the nonsense that is NASA. You know, this is, nobody's claiming this isn't real, but watch the switch to so-called space view. Let's watch this. This is just a switch.
That's crazy.
Goes from that to this. Supposedly that's what you're looking at from the
that looks
from the,
absolutely
space
ridiculous.
cam view
I'm
from the
German. We
rocket
can
view.
celebrate on the 24th, so the show's over.
And then this is the
Yeah, you might be right there.
something interesting with this one.
Racinism.
Yeah, it looked identical, didn't it? Mm-hmm.
Ah, they're just, you know, they think we are dumb.
I mean, does anybody really buy this is the question.
All right.
I mean,
No,
at this
Jeran,
point,
I don't buy it,
I'm
actually.
not even into the business of trying to convince people.
How's it going, Controlled Flat Earth Citizen
If you want
Zombie?
to believe this? You can believe it.
What's
or not.
up?
Go right ahead, enjoy yourself.
Now it's time
They
to sword
have
fight.
cemented themselves as deceivers. There's nothing real about this as far as once we get into this space view. And I'll even show you where they probably film these views from. As we get close here, what happened next was you're going to get
Let me warm up with some speed
basically
slice.
just this view for a while. And then they put the little model of the Earth like this. Put some classic music to it.
What are you doing tonight, Controlled Zombie?
And then they have this thing travel around
Controlled Citizen.
across Antarctica.
What are you? Just gonna call you
Heaven forbid
Zombie.
that they had any kind of camera view during that, right? No, we get this.
Ah.
This is our camera view from the thing going over Antarctica. Then it comes out on the other
Get
side.
some of my lemon juice
Turn and say,
and
over back.
what is this? Lemon juice and apple cider vinegar drink.
We're just
Elixir
gonna
of
finish
life
off
for
this
me.
part here.
GNC engineer confirm a good orbit.
Another thing, notice what he said there.
To make sure that we have got the second stage pushed up against the fuel so that we have liquid in the inlets to the turbo pumps. So that when they start, they immediately start pulling propellant.
Listen how he
We're
knows.
gonna listen in right now for ignition of the upper stage engine. That'll
This
run about
guy.
4 seconds. And hopefully we'll hear the GNC engineer confirm a good orbit.
See, everything he's saying is let's listen till we hear, till the guy tells me that things happened.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to see anything.
Oh, what the hell's going on with this thing?
And look at this.
Come on.
Too funny, really.
All right.
Now let's get a little bit further till we get to see.
Okay.
the Earth for the first
Let
time.
me back up before I end up slicing my microphone. Nothing much, man. Just about to get some sleep for a bit. Checking you out, checking out your Flat Earth stuff. Yeah, this is a super relaxed thing here. I'm just kind of I do this every now and then to catch up on podcasts that I haven't seen yet, and
I mean,
I'll
supposedly
pause it
this
every
should
now and
be
then, go
the
full
top of
screen.
it,
I'll
I'm
talk
guessing.
about it. I'll rewind it. And it's just real relaxed. But if people have any questions, you know, a lot of people finding me right now are coming from 6 different streams. I'm looking at a chat room. There's about 5 people watching right now, and only 2 or 3 of us in YouTube. But people will ask me questions in the chat, and I'll be responding to different things all night long. So thanks for checking it out. And
would be here.
you know, if you want to support it,
And
just
if
share
anybody
this,
thinks
because
that
the more people
from
that see it and end up in the chat room,
624 kilometers,
the higher it's going to push
is,
this up in the
I don't know
in
off
the
top of my
live
head.
search results for all these
624
platforms that I'm on.
calculation,
So it's just
but
going to help
10
me
miles has gotta be close
flat
to
smack even more.
400,
You know,
3,
even if you're not even watching it,
something like 380.
idling in here
So
is pretty
at
good for me
that
too.
height, miles,
So anything you can do.
to think that you would
Sometimes
see
when I do my serious stuff,
the
it's
entire ball
it's
Earth
a
like
whole
this
lot
is
better,
a
of
joke.
course.
It really, really is.
You can go watch anything I do.
8,000 miles to see any kind of a globe picture like this. It's just a joke.
Wham! I'm wrecking Emma.
Unbelievable.
She got me on that one.
I'm laughing at the music.
That's
It's hilarious. And then go back to this view. We're just gonna get a little bit further so we can see the satellite deployment.
Damn it, I broke my diamond the other
See
way.
Earth again here in a second.
Now she's tied up. I should have had that. I don't know what happened there. Got it. Alright.
Oh boy.
Alright.
Nice shadow here. Oh, look at that.
Alright, one more.
drifting away.
Got it.
Absolute total fraud.
Oh, cool. He's subbed up already. I like that.
Okay, remember you said
I
that
like to
too
hear
every
that.
100 seconds. Tell me this. All these satellites that are going up, what new thing are they doing? Anybody? What could they possibly be doing? What do we not have now that we're going to be getting now that they put these satellites up?
Yeah,
Nothing.
what are they sending
No
up
change
here in
except
space?
for continued money being stolen from people.
Look at space bubble.
By the way, real quick, let's check in on that before I forget. The stolen money from the world. And we always want to check in on that. We're at 5 trillion, 5 billion, 988 million, 284,000, something. That is the space scam spending since 1960. So don't forget that. I don't think we'll get to see it go to 5
Merry
trillion,
Christmas, man.
6 billion today.
See you later. You have a good one. Thanks for
Just in
dropping
case.
in.
Thank you, Charles Bolden, Buzz Aldrin, and the rest of the crew at NASA for continuing to steal people's money. So I didn't want to go a minute without letting you guys know that one. Let's go back and continue on with more satellite deployment.
Jaren's funny.
Fraudulent deployment.
Oh, did we tie? Oh, I got it. That was close though.
Anybody know what this is?
Ooh.
Me neither.
Ooh.
Okay, so now let's watch this next one.
Wait. Oh yeah. Oh, she totally had me beat on that one.
That is such a joke. Sorry, I'm walking around and you can't see what I'm doing, but I was just looking ahead a little bit. For the next one, right there.
Come on with it. He's tricking me, dude.
Where are these reflections coming from? Anybody?
They know.
Nothing
Like,
else is
I don't know
looking
how they do it. They make it harder right there at the end every time. But I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Eduardo. Oh,
Uh-oh.
got it. Hello. How's it going, Woolito Skywolf? You don't sound like a bot. Usually everybody else from Periscope is like a bot.
What a joke.
Are you a bot? The bots haven't used emotes like thumbs
What
up,
that
so
looks like too. Here.
yeah, that's
Got some
fun.
old film we're gonna look at.
It's flat, flat. Oh, cool. That's very pretty. Oh, he said salam. Oh, he's a bot.
What a joke. I never did that.
So creative. Yes.
Basically, they claim to have lost
He's got me on the
connection
emoting.
to Dubai.
Totally.
Did go at the correct time. We now have confirmation through telemetry.
Here comes the next one. Watch this one. Oh yeah.
There's the space bubble. Saw it. Look at those space bubbles. Oh my god, why do people not see that?
See these clouds out in space? It makes a lot of sense to me. What a joke. It's just disgusting.
Oh my god, I mean, people can't
This
tell
doesn't
that's in
make
a
sense,
pool.
you know, as far as the way that this thing's supposed to be traveling. And I hope to do a more comprehensive look at the actual orbit and compare it to this model Earth they've got below it. We've got another one coming here. Oh, that's great. Just a little bit ahead to here.
One hand. I'm gonna end it with one hand. Oh.
Look at that. Huh?
Yeah. There we go. Oh, what? Base. Got it. Watch Jeran live. People in the chat were calling out bubbles all the time.
So,
Yeah,
this reflection here
he
is
really
just
woke
coming
me
off
up
of, what, this
when
spacecraft window?
I was watching him and his videos on the bubbles in space, and I was like, I got to see this for myself. So I finally went and did that, and I watched a live broadcast like this, and you know, yeah, I saw bubbles in space for myself live. He had more people watching his broadcast than NASA did on the on their official stream on YouTube at the time. Like they had like 300, but and Jeran had about 800 people.
Watch us fake space. It's really cool to fake it to you.
Jeran's a goofball. I like him.
What the hell this crap is?
Oh man.
And the world believes it. Even sadder.
Okay.
Let's get to the finishing point.
Slicing machine. Swordplay speed slice. All right. I'm a slicing machine.
Disgusting.
Bottom of the screen, so you might see a little bit of motion as it moves away.
Let's see.
And there it goes.
All right, let me do some tennis. I might maybe do some tennis today.
We're passing over the Arabian Peninsula. 6 satellites down.
Tennis is fun.
4 still to go in this 15-minute deployment sequence.
I should do 2 players. But that would be fun. I can play tennis with my damn self on the Wii. Jeran like that. Almost feels like I'm live. Or he's live. I'm live. I know I'm live.
Too funny.
I know, right?
So I might be getting, we're going to see here in a little bit, but if I can, I'm going to bring
Oh,
Jeran and Doochie on.
how did that happen?
Join me and talk a little NASA nonsense.
Oh, I hit the net? Wow, okay. That was weird.
We got one more coming here.
That's actually we're about 15 seconds out. We now switch back forward to the view to look at separation.
So I want to watch this part here.
Okay.
So the 7th satellite deployed, also you may have heard it called Spacecraft 9.
I gotta know how to hit it and make it float up in the air. There's something that they're doing that I'm not able to do.
This part's interesting. Watch this.
I gotta figure this out. Let me see if I can Google this real quick. 'Cause I'm in the pro leagues now.
I thought they showed the... Oh yeah, that's where it is up here. So I want you to watch the sun. And the part to start watching... Okay, watch right here. Here's the sun. Flips the camera. Comes back. Get back there.
Camera views have now switched forward again for satellite number 8. This one's on the back side of the dispenser, so we won't see.
I can move around with the control pad.
There's the confirmation. The 8th of 10 satellites has successfully separated from Falcon 9. There are 2 more to go. The next one up will be the satellite that
You guys watching this?
on the payload camera. So we'll get a good close-up of that one separating. The 10th satellite then is on the backside of the dispenser.
Oh,
I
wow.
cannot believe how bad this
We
is.
hear from telemetry that it's separated, but we won't see that one.
Trying to look right up here if you can see this. It's so bad. And I think they've got one more satellite to watch here shortly. And then I'm going to let this finish off and call Iru and let him get on. So let's watch this final one.
Alright, well, there's nothing new to learn on that.
Again has now switched according to the timeline. We're looking at satellite number 9 preparing for deploy coming up in less than 10 seconds.
Okay. So let's give it a shot. I can move around the table. I did not know I could move around the table.
you can see in the background, as we saw in the last flight, several bright dots. Those are earlier iridium satellites that were deployed minutes ago.
Folks, these are supposedly the
I don't think I'm
satellites
moving
that were
around the
released.
table.
That'll be coming up in just
These are now in orbit, supposedly. Look at the movement on these. Oh, boy. It is
I can't
disgusting.
move around nothing. Oh, I better start trying.
Coming up here shortly.
Well, it looks like a bare dispenser, but there's actually one more iridium satellite left on the back side of the dispenser. We're waiting for deploy confirmation.
Look at these.
Outstanding. 40 in orbit in 2018. We heard the call out. 40 in orbit in 2017. All 10 iridium satellites have deployed right on time.
He actually said 2018.
Falcon 9 looked good all the way through that sequence.
Yeah, Falcon 9 looked great.
That's going to bring an end to our webcast.
Thank you.
So sunrise events, it was an outstanding
You should be looking for size 7 shoes. That's what this guy should be doing. What a joke. Now, while I call Iru, I'm going to let you watch some footage from Alhambra. Let's jump over to that one. This is a good video to watch, and be with you in 1 second.
I don't even know what side I hit it on. I don't even understand how that happened, but alright. Oh, okay. Got it.
3, 1.
Ah.
3, 2.
Jesus.
3, off.
Alright. What is this shit? They can make this ball float like that. Like, that's so gay.
While I make this call, I want you to be paying attention to the rest of the lights that we see. Planes, craft. Just pay attention to that and wonder if they're going to launch this rocket. Are we going to have all these planes flying in the vicinity? Keep an eye on it. I'll be right back.
I don't understand.
For the win.
I have to ask. I gotta ask Google on that. What's Jeran doing over there? What is that?
If you can hear me, and then Iro, go ahead and say hi to
There we
everyone.
go.
I guess I already heard you.
He was getting arrow on.
Yeah, I was hearing myself on the live. So hello to everyone in the chat.
So let me see, because there might be an echo, and if there is, I think I can get rid of it. So let me hear what Bob says. He's listening. Do you hear an echo now that you're talking and I'm talking, Ira?
No, I listen perfectly.
I don't know what yes means. Bob just texted me yes. Yes what? Yes, you can hear me. Yes, everything's good. Everything's bad. You can hear an echo. Go ahead and say something else, Hero.
Hello everyone again. So it's my first time here on the.
It is your first time on.
Channel.
I just got done telling some people the other day that we're going to be doing a show together with our top 10 NASA stuff each. Let me just wait for Bob to tell me if everything is okay. I guess that's the question, Bob. Is everything okay? A little echo on Eero, but not bad. Okay, I might lower it. Go ahead now, Eero. Can you say something? I'm going to see if they hear you too bad.
Okay. Yes. It's my first time here, so it's a pleasure, man. Thank you for the. Well, I invited myself, but thank you for accepting my self-invitation.
No problem. I said I would love to have your own. So you said you spent some time yesterday looking at this?
Yes, exactly. I was downloading it because when I start to see this, so many people seen from different locations. So that was the first thing. It was the first time I thought that this kind of event was filming, in the different part of the area. And there is a great videos out there. Even there is one on the plane, taking on the plane. So it's a lot of evidence to analyze.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, tons of stuff. You said somebody took it from a plane, or you mean the helicopter?
I see one. I downloading one from a helicopter and another one for a plane.
Okay.
It's a short one. It's a short one, but. I'm going to give me 1 minute for arrange some of the video here on the After Effects and.
Okay, we're just watching the end of. Sure, we're just watching the end of this feed, and somebody took it from the top of this hill. Okay, they say you're perfect now, so good. Glad I fixed that. I kind of know what I'm doing. See? Oops, this thing's gonna go on to the next one if I don't go back.
So it does matter. Jesus.
So that was the one from Anaheim. Let me try this one. And then we'll watch this one. And then after that, if you're ready, just let me know and we'll bring yours up.
Okay. Yes, here I have one from the plane, the pilot plane. So 1 minute, and I'm going to put all together.
Sure.
So we can start to make some comparison.
Did you get to, you saw the end of it when the so-called first stage fires back, I guess, to the ocean. I don't know. I don't know if they originally had planned that or what. I might go back and show that real quick one more time. That was on the... Which one was that?
Okay, it does work. Cool.
So what do you think is what happened here? I mean, if I had to make a guess on it, this was some sort of a practice because there's too many aircrafts around there.
Yes, this is the first time that I see like the second part, the supposedly reusable part of the rocket making some movement and trying to, because you see there is a time when the rocket split in two, and some of this little point of light is start like maneuvering and make some other movement different from the tip of the rocket. So I think that is the second part of the rocket, the supposedly reusable rocket. And for me, the most important thing here is the altitude, because when all this stuff happened, it's supposedly more than 100 kilometers up there.
Yeah, I think even towards the end, it's supposed to be over 100 miles.
Exactly, and the velocity,
The
the speed of the rocket.
The speed is absolutely the point I wanted to point out, that it's going no faster than any planes.
Exactly.
Yep, totally. I don't know if you can see what we're watching now. This is just somebody had a pretty good zoom-in view here, and you can actually see watch these planes down below here. In a second here, we'll get some views of some planes, and we'll see that it's moving no faster than any of these planes. You can watch this plane coming into view here. Oops, he moved his camera. What do you think? Another thing I'm not real... The whole idea of the smoke staying there is... I can't stand it. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on with that. It's not smoke like you would think.
No, it's not. For me, it's not the smoke. It's some kind of properties of the altitude in the atmosphere, some kind of condensation, some kind of chemical reaction, happen up there. I think they must be. If you look the trajectory of the rocket, you're gonna see, of course, totally straight. So it's like they reach a point.
You mean parallel? Like parallel with the Earth?
Parallel, yeah, exactly. So it's like they develop some kind of technology based on missile technology to travel in a straight line for 7-8 minutes. So they have time to show to the public this 7-8 minutes of a straight rocket, and then they jump to
dump in the ocean.
Exactly, to the compositing images to show the supposedly satellite launches. That part never showed in the real life.
No, of course not.
It's like the rocket disappears from the view, and then they jump to this kind of video that they have made.
The rocket view, yeah.
Exactly. And when this launch reached the supposedly 600 kilometers, when appeared the totally spherical camera showing the Earth, it's ridiculous. If you see the scale of the clouds, it's like they took a regular image from high altitude balloon, and they deformed in extremely spherical way. So when you see like normal clouds, you see from 20-30 kilometers, but totally, wrapped in the sphere. So that is, I let me 1 minute more.
Sure, yeah. This is almost done here.
To put all the, because I downloaded like 10 different views. So I want to try to put together and don't lose so much time.
So I saw that earlier, and I thought that was a cut, but I'll show you what happened here, just so people see that this is what he just. I guess it is a cut, really. But if you watch here as he pans to the right, this is what we're seeing here. So see the first stage, and then he just kind of fades into it. At first, I couldn't find. I was like, "Where is that from?" But it was in the other view. And supposedly this is this is what usually the deorbit burn, and then the landing burn, and then usually this thing would supposedly land on Earth, but this one I guess went out in the ocean.
Exactly. That is the first time that I see the second stage maneuvering on the sky. I never seen it before.
Okay, so you got yours ready? Or you need a little more time? We could watch it. Sure.
You are seeing my screen.
I see your screen, but no, I just haven't shared it yet.
Okay.
So when you're ready, you tell me.
Yes. Just.
I wanted to show one other thing, so I'm going to bring this up here anyway. 1 second. All this stuff. I've got so much fakery going here, but there was one particular video, if I can find it, that showed them And what did I do with it? 1 second. Is it this one? Maybe it's at the bottom here. Let me see. Yep. All right. This is the one I want to show. This is a. This is a aerospace systems military space resources video. Probably I don't think there's much sound on it. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I guess there is a talk. But basically, it starts out by saying that they were able to get examples or practice with 0G in high altitude planes and with the parabolic arcs, which we've all seen them do these before. Then it gets into talking about rockets, and I just want to show here if I can find it. When they're doing these practice rockets and inside of simulators, it's identical to what we're seeing from the so-called rocket view. I'm just going to find that here. And let's see here.
I hit him in the face.
So listen to this, because it's important what they're saying, and we'll get to see how much of a sham this all is. Here we go. Let's listen to this.
Object at that time, over 70,000 miles. At this historic point, the technique and capabilities of the missile age, utilizing the advanced state-of-the-arts of the electronic age, were beginning to lend themselves to the dawn of a new age, the age of space. While these strides into space were being made, the combined Air Force and industrial facilities base was augmented to meet new space-age demands. A tracking station agreement was made to utilize the Jeranism radio telescope, the world's largest. This 300-ton, 250-foot dish can receive signals from as far as 70 million miles. Other sites were established, including this one at South Point, Hawaii, with a 60-foot antenna having a 20 million mile reception range. South Point and Jodrell Banks, between them, can provide almost 24-hour command and telemetry reception. Shortly after Pioneer 1, the Able 3 program placed Explorer 6 into orbit with an initial 22,000-mile apogee. As the next step, a three-stage vehicle was designed to place into orbit the Pioneer 5 satellite. Pioneer 5 set new records in space communication.
Yeah, they've got better at fakery than that,
more
at
than
least.
22 million miles.
Okay, so in a second here, they're going to show a
Secretary of Defense responded to the
so-called
growing
satellite,
need
just
for
like this one here.
centralized management of the space programs under development,
This one
with the
right here.
Communication Satellite Program and the Navy's Transit Navigation Satellite.
I'm going to pause it here because I want to show you something.
Thor boosted into space NASA's first Tyros.
Okay, so this is obviously not supposed to be real,
Found
but
some
they're going
duckies.
to real quick cut in an image that's supposed to be.
The hell
So
am I
I'll try
doing
and
with the
pause it
duckies?
again.
Weather satellite to transmit pictorial weather data from altitudes of up to
Okay, this is the first picture that they show you that is supposed to be real.
Oh,
That is
scared
supposed
him
to be
away.
a real image of the Earth. Now let's watch the next one.
450 miles. The results clearly
This is supposed to be real. And the guy says, the results are clearly that we can take satellite pictures from space now of the Earth.
demonstrated the feasibility of using an Earth satellite
And this one's supposed to be real. Yep. Looks pretty real to me.
to provide usable weather information. Thor has also been able to boost the satellite vehicles.
And they say this guy can turn around in space. It's just too funny. But let me find that one picture real quick. I just want to show you these practice things because we'll see how they have that space view. And this is how they fooled everybody right here too. We'll listen to
Alright,
this.
got all these ducks.
Some of the major
There's the
milestones
mama.
during the past 7 years involved the development of new scientific, technical,
Right there,
and
mama
management
duck.
capabilities for the nation.
Got 3. How about that?
From just 2 contractors when the
I think
program
I've done my good deed. Let's
the
race.
industrial base has today grown to more than 30 principal contractors, backed up by over 200 subcontractors and a nation-spanning network of suppliers.
Watch out, mama duck.
In recognition of the growth of the missile and
That's how
space
they do it.
system performance,
Now here's the practice facility, and watch this.
rocket test
No.
cells can subject rocket engines to functional examination at simulated altitudes of up to 300,000 feet to determine
Come on.
propellant burning.
It gets all out of whack and stuff.
Such tests
Does that look familiar?
early in the ballistic missile program.
I'm seeing with the delay on YouTube. You are
Oh.
not sharing the Skype screen, so I'm.
Oh, that's right. I can't do that, or I'm almost done, so we'll pull it over to you. But basically, they're showing this simulator, and coming out of the simulator are these little specks. It's exactly like they show is so-called in space with the zero gravity, and it's happening here. See this? In the simulator, it's identical.
The von Karman gas dynamics facilities at Arnold test models at velocities up to Mach 20.
Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Watch it one more time here.
Burning characteristics, accomplishments.
Oops, missed it. There we go.
Helped eliminate what otherwise.
So what we're getting is we're getting a camera from here, just looking at these simulators. You know, they're that or they're models. I mean, this isn't real size, I don't think.
Might have been big stumbling blocks.
But it's identical.
But it's identical.
Yep, identical. And then when you have that, then all you need to do is you have a green screen that is playing whatever video of the Earth that your CGI masters have put together. So you ready? If you're ready, I'll switch to you, or you need more time.
No, I am. I have a little.
Who the hell would canoe in this dump?
The situation. So.
Okay, go ahead, because I'll finish off this this video here. There's a couple more things that are on this video I want to show.
But that thing that you show is amazing. It's because for me it's what is happening. That is why
that's a workout.
They show us the rocket thruster only.
Correct.
You know, it's the camera pointing there with any sense at all. They can put like 4 or 5 cameras, different cameras, showing all the rockets.
Right. They're so freaking cheap. I mean, you can buy a GoPro, the best one, for $500 or $600. They could strap 5 or 6 of those on there and have all the views and everything. No, they don't do anything like that. They just give you that one generic shot that looks identical to what they were doing in the 60s. This part here, I just wanted to point out that this is how they fooled people. Watch these guys. They're all actors, acting like they're in secret meetings or they're talking about space. Just watch this. It's classic.
Its immediate objective is to serve the Air Force in the scientific engineering planning and direction of ballistic missile and space programs.
Scientific engineering and ballistic missile program. These guys, all actors.
Closely supports the missions of the new aerospace division.
Is this what they do? They pass around this model rocket to talk about space? We're going to pass this around here, huh? What do you think, Bob? Yeah. Bullshit. What do you think we should fool people with? This here? Yeah. Gary, that looks pretty good to me.
Oh my god.
Do we carry this 3 here, or do we divide by 4? Oh, we divide by 4. Nonsense.
Jeran's the man.
Yeah,
can you share on Skype your screen?
I think so. I'm not sure if you see what I see. Let me see here.
No, I start seeing with the delay. I see they are all actors.
Yeah, I'm gonna start this and see if you can see my screen or not. I don't know. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
And you should see a split screen. Do you see split?
Yes.
Okay. Exactly. Just as long as you're seeing what I'm seeing. And then when I switch to the video, you'll see this.
Give me 1 minute more.
Sure. Yep, and I was going to show one other thing anyway. But, I mean, the whole idea of satellites, too, is such a joke. Satellites are just like this video here will show you. Here's your satellites. They are these. Now, of course, we hear about the ones when they crash or when they end up in the forest. But they just didn't tell you about these before. And one of these days, or even today, I might go through, there's a history of all these balloons that they've been sending up for years. And they didn't tell us about that. They didn't tell us about the balloons that they sent up because they don't want you to know that they've just continued that, but calling them satellites now. And that's what these are. They're just, that's what your satellites are. Now, they're not in orbit, but they are in a, I guess you could say, a circular path. And there's tons of paperwork. And for those of you who haven't gone to like Planete Veritas's channel, Robert Bassano has a lot of good stuff where he's reading some documents talking about that and how they stay up there and how they move and how they can be seen at night, which is a problem because the reason they have to tell you that what you see in the sky is satellites going around which really just makes zero sense, because if you think about it, that the sun is on the other side of the earth. Now, granted, you know, for a little bit of time after sunset, you would see the sun's going to hit a little bit, just like that rocket launch there was, you know, I think at 5:30 or something, the SpaceX launch. But when you think about these balloons, the balloons are being seen at all hours of the day, all hours of the night. Well, that's not possible. They should have to hit the Earth's shadow, but they don't. And the reason for that is because the sun is simply just on the other side of
now it's the right way.
But the other end of the flat Earth. And so you can't get away from these so-called satellites, which are balloons, being hit by the sun. That's the problem. So you have to call them satellites because you have to pretend that they are so far away that the sun is hitting them, even though if anybody actually calculated that, you're going to see that it's a scam.
NASA scientists were picking up the pieces of years of work. It's not clear whether anything can be salvaged. Everybody's feeling very down.
Yeah, these things are... I mean, this is what this is. This is just what people think is a satellite.
And look at the size, yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
it's huge.
They can kill everyone
Yep.
in the trajectory.
8,000 pounds those balloons can lift. That's 3 cars. This video here, I was going to show a little bit. We can watch it after, but it's basically talking about re-entry too, which is just a joke. But when you get to the end, I thought this was interesting. If anybody knows what they show this thing landing, and there's going to be a little cartoon character that's going to get out. Thank you, Walt Disney. You'll notice first he's got the Peter Pan hat on. If you know about Pan, he's an astronaut. He shouldn't get out with the Peter Pan hat. And if you know about Pan the God, and you'll see here, watch what he does with his hand. Okay, we get the classic 3 knocks of the 666. And if anybody knows the handshake that is going to come up right here, we get the Freemason handshake too. Funny. You ready to share yours?
Yeah. In fact, yes. If you like.
Yeah, I'm ready. Classic 3 knocks of the 666. And if anybody knows the handshake that is going to come up right here, we get the Freemason handshake too. Funny.
Jesus Christ.
You ready to share yours?
Yeah. In fact, yes. If you like.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. They even use the word Pangea
Mm-hmm.
to refer to our planet, because it's like the Earth of this kind of God.
Are you sharing right now or no? I don't think I'm
No,
seeing...
maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe I don't. Okay, I'm sharing right now.
Okay, I got you. Let me move that over. All right, so all you, go ahead, show me what you got.
Okay, when I started to see these kind of launches, I showed this before in the Globebuster show, but for me, what has happened, because we have seen before this kind of situation with these rocket launches.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if you're looking in the social media or social networks, even the military guys, give the warning. Okay, tonight we're going to make some practice with rocket or with missiles. So this one here was 2015-16 on Miami, and of course, all the people saying there is an UFO or it's an ovni or whatever, and I believe in our days we know that these are rocket launches. So when you see from a long view, all the time what you're gonna see is this straight path. It's totally straight. There is no any kind of situation when the rockets try to go up or travel so long to leave the Earth. How many miles this rocket maybe go through the sky?
How far is it supposed to go?
Yes, before you are not able to.
Oh, it's. I think according to them, it'd be like 150 miles. I don't even know.
Exactly. So, I mean, let me just put everything together. When you see this situation here, this kind of situation, there is like when you see from a balloon, not from a plane, not from a helicopter, from a balloon, which is really high because we are talking about 30 kilometers up in the sky, so we must have a nice view. I have here, let me open cameras, altitude, was this one from the Spacex CRS-7. So here is seen from balloon, and this is, I don't know if you are able to look. This smoke trail is the rocket launch.
Correct.
So the camera is going to jump all over the place, so I'm going to try to get focus this. But look at, I want to people to see how far this rocket goes, and you're gonna tell me where it's up here right now. Okay, so this is the smoke trail leave behind, and this is the rocket. So look how much Earth still have to try to go to, to space.
Yes.
I mean, where supposedly is gonna be this? This is how 50 kilometers up there, 40 kilometers. This is supposedly
getting it now.
Must be reached like 120 kilometers to leave the Earth, and here is so much Earth to leave behind.
Yeah, the idea that they're falling at such a speed that they miss the Earth is a joke.
Exactly, and the not just the speed. I mean, here the balloon camera is centered again. So this tiny point is the rocket, and look how much Earth still had to to go through it to reach the space, to make that supposedly, because they telling that with the supposedly speed they reach, they are constantly falling
right
on the Earth. So where is the edge to fall in? Right here. This rocket is impossible to leave the Earth.
How's it going, everybody? If you want to type something in the chat,
impossible.
Absolutely.
Head on over to the link
believe,
right here.
Yeah, it's all lies.
And
I'm
going to take just a quick little minute break and
the speeds that
go get
they
some
claim
water.
they can go is the joke.
Say hi. Listen to this
going
broadcast.
17,500 miles per hour, and we can see that just in the video when you can see planes going at the same speed.
Yeah, exactly. This is an horizontal path. Right there is took the horizontal path. Of course, this camera is so far away from the launch base. So it's this is like the smoke trail. This is not the rocket itself. This tiny white point is like we see from the ground. Is the trail behind. So in this time this is horizontal travel, and look how much Earth is still have there. It's no way to. Of course, I mean, the people can believe. Okay, you just showing 2-minute video. If you look this, travel from an hour.
I can already hear that. Or they're going to say that we're always on the top of the ball. That's why you would never see it go over the edge of the Earth, because it's always at the top. It's the same thing. It's just excuses. It's just word salad in order to convince people that they live on a ball. It's ridiculous. I mean, even pilots that say, oh, well, we know we fly over. How do you know you're always at the top of the ball? How can you even say you know it's a ball if you're flying over the top? Because it's It's not a ball. That's why you never go on the side of it. That's why you never. I've had pilots tell me, "I know that the Earth is round. I've flown over it for 30 years." Oh well, did you fly underneath it? Did you fly on the side of it? No, of course not. You're always flying above the Earth.
Exactly. And look, for example, if you look this camera, look at the path of the smoke trail. So this is a long video, and I'm gonna try to pause. This is from a helicopter.
Okay.
So here you can see just it's the memory of the program. So sorry for the bad presentation, but I don't have nothing prepared. I just have downloaded the video, but not take the time to put together. But look how much the rocket, fly, and it's still in the straight line.
Right.
We are seeing from the height of a helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
So how much height this point is going to be up in the sky?
Not higher. It's not more than 20,000, 30,000 feet.
Exactly. And when you see, for example, when you're trying to, this is from I'm gonna reproduce
Still here,
the original video,
Jeranism.
so there is no any delay in the calculation. Mm-hmm. But I have right here from a plane. I haven't in the agencies SpaceX. This one. This is from the copilot plane.
Mm-hmm.
This is from in fact, you're gonna see right here on the top right of the screen, you're gonna see the reflectance of the instrument on the cabin.
Okay.
But here you can see that this rocket is not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Or fast.
How the hell am I gonna have to throw this?
Supposedly, right there, maybe it needs to reach like 18 kilometers per hour.
On my screen here, I'm going to bring up the bring up the speed at that time because they had the speed on the screen.
Yes, they leave the second stage, so
that's not what I wanted.
You can.
Yeah, that's crazy. Even where the first separation was, it was supposedly going 7,750 kilometers per hour. Yeah, right.
It's impossible. It's impossible. And you can see here all the time it's going in a straight line. There is no
over there. My brain can't
any
do that
way
right
to leave the Earth.
I've been flat-smacked a few years ago, so I don't need convincing. Actually, I can't sleep, so I'm zapping through flat-smack and vids. Are you looking at the stuff I got on my YouNow page? Because
going.
It's
I don't know.
Some of them pretty interesting. I'm gonna make a compilation soon enough.
I mean, the first stage, right? That's the rocket. That's
the first stage.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna take some of those people and actually, cut up the videos and stuff and put out a nice compilation. But some of these people are extremely rude, and I don't know. I get disconnected with a lot because people are just so dumb. So they don't like. They just don't even want to try to get it, and it's disheartening. I mean, some of the stuff that I would say would make anybody scratch their head, but some of these people don't even scratch their head. They're just like, huh? Interesting.
Wait, was that just somebody walked in front of that? What was that?
Yes, was from the inside the because the pilot is moving the camera through the window. So it's just that. Remember, this is taken from a plane. So this is like the structure of the window inside the cabin.
Oh.
You understand?
I guess. I don't know what they're walking. Who's walking around? They're just like a pilot walking?
No, there is nobody walking. It's just the pilot panning the camera inside the plane.
Yeah, but isn't this person walking?
I don't know if he's walking or he's just sitting on the chair and moving, moving left to right.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if
I'd have to
don't
watch
think
it again.
he's walking inside the plane. But what I want to share is this kind of situation here. Let
It's
me
terrible.
just where is? I believe is here, not
Oh, that looks easy enough.
here. When you see, for example, this kind of, this is not a SpaceX, but
Shit.
you can see there is almost the same.
Awful.
When you see this kind of rocket get launched from the ground, when they reach a certain altitude, of course they take the horizontal way and they keep going in horizontal straight path.
Right.
And there is totally flat the earth underneath the rocket. It's like this rocket have the ability to fly like a plane, for 7-8 minutes. So they are take out of your view and they jump to pre-programming image, like you show in that kind of simulation.
Yep.
Because here you can see this is no difference from the balloon altitude or plane altitude.
Correct.
In fact, if I show you, for example, this kind of image from balloons, you're gonna see like the scale of the cloud is the same. These are all images from balloons, and you can see the scale is the same. If I put here like a rocket, you're gonna believe that we are in space. This camera, for example, if you compare with this kind of camera here, let me shut like that. For example, you can see the scale of the cloud is the same. The only difference is that we have this part of the rocket supposedly in the image, but the scale is the same. So this rocket is going to travel like 20-30 kilometers in a straight line, and they jump to pre-made images.
Yeah, the rocket view.
Exactly. They jump to that kind of rocket view, and the rest is all regular transmission of the show, because it's like a show. It's like a football, soccer, play. That is what it's become, the space. And when you see this is what I mean. Look at the size of the cloud. This size of the cloud, they are not at 600 kilometers.
No.
No, almost.
This is a regular, cloud. It's a regular cloud, but this kind of, why they jump to this situation where the camera is totally, it's not fisheye lens. It's like a spherical lens, totally spherical lens. This is not a regular.
No, it's like a complete. It circles everything. It will take what it sees and pull it all together.
Exactly. In fact, I think I can make it one to.
Probably in your editor, you can probably do it, huh?
Yes. If I took, for example, this image here, let me. I hope you understand me, Jeran.
I do.
Because
I've talked enough. Now I got you. I can understand everything you say. You speak fine English, by the way. And for anybody who doesn't think so, I dare them to go speak Spanish.
I feel I'm speaking like a Hindu, some kind of. Yes. I listen myself from outside my body, and it's a little difficult. It's a little difficult to understand me.
I think people they'll get the hang of it if they don't this time.
Nice.
But you've been speaking fine.
Okay. Here I have the making this kind on live. It's it's not the best for having the people with some kind of entertainment, but fish eye lens. Let me. For example,
Right idea,
I believe this one I can make. No, this is not. It's one of these one. There you have. You can see this is a regular camera, but if I want, I can totally wrap around and make the same kind of ridiculous spherical situation that SpaceX do in this in this kind of. Let me just jump. There you go. So. It's very easy, you don't need even the special lens. If you have two layers separated, the rocket is one and the Earth is the other. You can make the Earth, appear whatever you need. There is no difficult things to replicate this and this. Of course, we are talking about a company who trick people, right? So they have time to do this,
and they got a lot of money to do it too.
Exactly. It's a different of doing on live right now, right? But you can see you can have the same kind of result doing in post production. So this kind of cameras is made on post production. There is no continuity.
No, they don't do anything live. I mean, besides the launch itself, but everything else is going to be pre-recorded.
Yes, and I believe I have some other. I don't know if it was one of these. No, and the best part of SpaceX. It's when they going to launch, when they going to land.
Yeah.
and all the times the signal is interrupted.
Every time. Yep.
You are the multi-millionary company, and when you're gonna to touch down, you have problem. Just at that moment. The rest of the moment is perfect.
Because they don't have Wi-Fi in space, or they don't have Wi-Fi in the ocean, they say.
Yes, they don't have, the satellite is occluded by the supposedly Earth curvature.
You've heard it too.
It's amazing. This is one from NASA. Look at the cameras that they use.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no need to put.
Have you ever seen those cameras that they do the whole night sky, and they put it like in a bubble? So you can see the whole night sky in a circle. You seen those? Yeah, that's what they're using.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. There is, I believe, I have here. There is a Sony lens you can do that very easily. I believe is here. This one. And
that's the reason when I make. Yeah, there you go. Yep. And you know what? We've actually seen that lens, the lens that you just showed there. I've seen that on the ISS in a reflection. It's the exact same lens. We've even pointed out that it's the exact same model. So you can actually see, I forgot what the name of the model is, DSX or something. I don't know what it is. But if you go to old ISS footage, sometimes it shows you a reflection and you can see the lens number on the reflection. And it's that huge spherical camera.
Yes, and then, you know what? I let me see if I have here. I never do this for myself, but I have the idea from other guy, because there is something a little strange with the GoPro cameras and all that kind of stuff. Because what I believe is, if you have an spherical shape and you use a GoPro, you're gonna have like twice effects of the spherical distortion.
Right.
I mean, of course, we are not so so far away from the Earth to really see the complete sphere or things like that. But when you start I'm going to show this very quickly. This guy took a camera with a fisheye lens. He had like a balloon inflate with the texture of the Earth, and he placed the camera in scale, like was the ISS. He make all the calculation, he make all the analysis. I just go forward because I don't want to play the complete video because it takes 12 minutes. But I'm gonna show a little, he has, of course, the company that sells this kind of balloon is NASA. Right?
Features NASA satellite imagery.
Yes, exactly.
My
so
guy's
features
tired.
NASA satellite images. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Not for educational purposes.
Yes, exactly. So he take the measurement from the lens. He took two cameras and he pointing in this way.
Gotcha.
To the spherical Earth. So he start moving and make some taking some point of view. But the complete thing here is like he said, okay, if the Earth is spherical and we must see on the ISS, we must see this kind of curvature, because up in the ISS it's you can see the curvature of the Earth a little bit, but you can see it. It's not like being on the balloon. It's really high, supposedly 400 kilometers, so you see the little curvature on the ISS. So the problem is, if the object that you are seeing it's spherical, it have some curve, I don't say impossible, but it's really, really difficult to have an inversion curve when you move up the camera. And
it's impossible.
You see, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Yes. You all the time you're gonna see a little curve. You're not gonna see a convex, a concave, shape. And
no.
This guy, and of course, you can see how the spherical shape is like duplicated, because you have a spherical lens on the spherical object. So the regular thing is you have like a double effect. So this guy took the same kind of experiment, and they use like a more biggest spherical shape ball. So the same thing happened. You're never gonna see like the concave shape in the bottom part.
No, and the other view,
ISS.
the other view also doesn't take into account the size of the lens versus the size of the ball, right?
Exactly. And the strange thing is, let me just go to the end of the video. The strange thing is, for having this kind of concave, concave shape, right? This kind of concave shape is like you must have a flat surface. So this guy took the wall, he project like a circular light. He put the camera, and he's gonna to simulate the movement of the balloon, kind of type of.
Oh, and he gets the concave.
Exactly, and it's like it's exactly like it's in reality. Let me just, here you have the circular. This is what you all the time saying. We see a circular
Correct.
limit, because remember, this is a flat wall with a circle, project light circle. So you can see this is like in a balloon.
Right.
So
yep.
I would love it to do, maybe with a more scale, more big sphere to take the final decision, but it's very logical. to this kind of analysis.
Well, yeah, and I think for me, I mean, when I watch Dwayne Kellum's balloon footage and the other balloons, we see a certain thing when you lift off from the Earth. You see the Earth starts out as big and then it gets smaller because you're getting up there, and the limit of your eyesight causes everything to be black because there's nothing out there. And, you know, all colors combined are white, and no colors is black. So what's happening is you're getting you can't see anything, and that's what's causing the black so-called outer space. Now, the other thing is, if you just think of like a hula hoop, right? If you put a hula hoop
Yes.
level with your eyes, so you wrap it around your head and you're looking straight on with that hula hoop, you're going to see a flat hula hoop. And if you lowered it a little bit below your eyes, you would see a curve, but it would not be a curve of a ball. Obviously, it's a hula hoop, right? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly. In fact, in the official, optics, that is a common thing. Nobody doubt about the circular shape of the eye, of the lenses. This is from OptiWiki.
Correct.
And he's very clear. And his the article says, talking about spherical lenses, rectilinear lenses, is obviously that the resulting image is going to be circular. There is no way to escape to a circular limit, because that is why we are talking about angles, is the angle of view. So if you're talking about angles, you're going to have a circular limitation.
Yeah,
It's
because
impossible.
you're the radius of that circle,
Exactly.
your view.
Exactly. There is no way. If you have if you have lens like a camera lens of the human eye, you're gonna have that limitation, and it's gonna be in the circular pattern.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a great view right there. That is your eyes are going to always produce a circle, especially when you can't see any further than that. So what would you expect to see outside of that besides nothing?
Exactly. In fact, with camera, the same thing happens. Any lens have that limitation, and of course, in the real life, something happened that the first time that I know this concept was in the computer science. It's called camera resolution by distance. Because when you see this kind of situation, let me just go again with the balloons. Let me delete that, and I going back to this kind of let me put one better to illustrate what I'm talking about. When you see this kind of things that we are talking about, you doesn't have any more resolution to look up, so it's gonna be black because of course there is no object to project light, and on the bottom part you're gonna see this limit, and you don't see more land than this. But that is your limitation. That is your resolution. There is no more light to process. Right. So in computer you have that kind of situation to because for me it's something that it's a nice system, because why you gonna be the necessity to your brain to process things that you are not able to see? It's like a memory management. In computer is for that kind of situation, is for don't spend so much memory trying to calculate things that you are not going to see.
Right.
And in real life, when people talks about we living in the computer simulation, You have that theory.
Oh yeah.
I think I think the computer simulation have methods like us, like the real life. I think we are in the just mixing concepts. For example, the limit resolution by distance is something like this. For example, if I have here, and I put let me just put the terrain. I put this terrain, and imagine that this terrain is a really huge terrain. Let me just open, and my viewport start to having some lag situation because there is a lot of memory, whatever. I can limit, for example, here I can limit this. It's called view clipping. So if I start to limit the far away situation, you're gonna see that the mountain is start to disappear. But of course, the terrain is there. If I walk and I advance, I go forward, the mountain start appear again.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so when I see this kind of situation and I try to compare with real life, I remember, for example, when the suns disappear, not in the bottom of the ocean. You see those images that the sun is go away and disappear. It's like there is. Let me illustrate myself better. Moon. I have one here, but with the moon, not with the sun. The moon is just go away and disappear, but it's still up in the horizon. There is no going down.
Right. No.
It's just.
Yeah, I mean, for people who don't know kind of what he's getting at or what he's saying, the sun or the moon are never below your feet.
Exactly. Exactly. You have this kind of situation when the moon start disappear. It's like it's go away and disappear because you don't have more resolution. And there is a lot of examples like this with the sun. Also, I don't have here exactly example with the sun, but we have a limit. It's not just the perspective our limit. It's not just
it's an angle
perspective.
It's an angle limit.
Exactly.
Yep. And
it's an angle limit.
For the best video on that, go to Curious Life's channel. He has a video, or a few. I mean, all his videos are top of the line. But he does one where he talks about the angular resolution of the eye, what degree that is, and that's why when you hear people talk about, oh, well, if you get up higher, you can see further. Well, that's because you're increasing the angle of view of the item that you're looking at. So when you're on the ground and you're looking off in the distance and the sun sets, it's because it's reached its angular limit for you to be able to see it. But if you got up higher, you're increasing your view angle.
Yes, it's easy like that. And of course, you need to apply atmospheric conditions, fog, blooming, lensing, etc., etc., etc.
Dust, yeah, everything. Mist, smoke.
Yes. Everything, exactly. Everything. But yes, these guys of SpaceX, it's for me, it's just like that. They travel in a straight line, and when there is no anybody on the ground to keep filming, they don't worry anymore. So they just maybe they develop some kind of technology to reuse some of the rockets. I don't know that, but if that is the case, that doesn't mean that the Earth is spherical, that the SpaceX goes to outer space, that kind of thing. They just take off a rocket and land it again.
Yeah, no,
Like a hard-
if they are landing it, in my opinion, they're landing a helium stick. Basically, they're not landing any rockets.
Yes, and when you see that, if you start thinking in that kind of terms, they can launch, a rocket, really light rocket, and
Right.
make travel in the straight line like any regular plane.
Yep, you just need to put a little bit of force behind you. That's it.
Exactly, because when you see, for example, when you see this kind of situation with the thruster in the first view, you are done. Supposedly, you can imagine this is a real situation, of course, not is a composite image, but you can have this in some part of any kind of plane, and the rest of the rocket it's another object flying there. It's like a plane, military plane, a drone, whatever. Here you doesn't have even the feeling of a scale. I don't know which is the real size of this, for example.
What's the real size of it?
Yes,
I think it's a model. Yeah, I don't think it's actual size.
exactly. But in the real life, what size is supposedly this kind of thruster?
Oh, that's huge.
That I am supposedly is huge.
Huge.
And these have this kind of paper,
Plastic bag.
Plastic covering this huge thruster, and you see the ripples of this kind of paper, and it's like a model scale thruster.
Yeah, and it turns red, and as if metal when it turns red like that would not hold its stability.
Yeah, it's really. It's a really strange situation, how they make it. But when the first time is your video showed the first time that kind of simulation, and that is amazing because there you have it.
Yep. Do you think that the views that we see from the ISS are real? Of the Earth?
No. The view when they are inside of the ISS, supposedly.
No, that's fake. But I'm talking about the view that looks like it's from a high altitude vehicle.
Yes, this kind of view. You say this kind of situation like this.
Correct.
Yes. For me, you have a lot of method to replicate that. I mean, you can, for example, process digitally. And you make the same kind of images, or you can make better because you can film it from high altitude balloon, you can film it from military planes, and then make a huge map and mapping a sphere. That is why the problem of all the ISS situation is the cloud doesn't change, never. It's like a stick cloud layer on the ball. And in fact, there is I have a video because I was preparing to do something with this kind of cloud situation, and I remember I have this video. I'm gonna share because it's in English, so I'm gonna share the audio if allow me. Let me that.
I think they'll be able to hear it.
Okay, you are listening?
I hear it.
Okay, these kind of images, when you even can see the cloud, you can see the clouds moving. Their own
terrible.
NASA guys, you're gonna listen at the end. Let me just go forward. Here you can listen.
Okay.
Is a computer model of Earth. So all the satellite observations we get, we put in a computer model, combine them, and do a gazillion calculations, and can calculate the movement of air currents and clouds. And you can see this looks like the real thing. This is a computer simulation, and we use it for prediction. Weather prediction, and another version for climate prediction. But look how realistic it is. You can see all the little cumulus clouds, the little puffy clouds. Until the heavens
The guy who made this video put some funny things in the middle.
Streams of air.
But you can see from the NASA guys.
Mm-hmm.
You see giant streams of air going across the oceans. You see ice coming and going and snow coming and going over the land. And you can see the greenness changing. This is all a simulation, but a realistic one. It's a little toy world. And that's what we use to try and understand the Earth system. That's how we try and make sense of it. So is this useful? Yeah, you bet.
So there you have it. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's all deception, but I mean, there is some things like I think that have you ever seen that website, the JSC images from the ISS, so-called? But you can tell that it's an automated system. They've never turned the camera on themselves and filmed like an astronaut. And on Twitter, one time I tried to get a guy to do that because he told everybody, hey, take pictures of the ISS. I'm going to be up there taking pictures of the ground. And so I told him, can you just take a video real quick of you showing the ground, then turn and show yourself, then show the ground again? And of course, they'll never do that.
Never.
No, they can't do that. So, but there is that JSC, and I can show that here in a second. That's why I do believe that they just take those images, and again, what you're seeing is a flat circle. Sometimes they put the simulated curve on there because it's just flying around in circles.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When I see the image from the ISS, I see real footage, but then they make, because I'm doing it in that way, you can make a huge map, a huge texture, and you apply to a sphere, digital sphere. So you can then make sometimes when you see the live viewer from the ISS, you can see clouds that coming again, the same cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So that it doesn't have any sense, because how is possible the same clouds reappear again after supposedly make a Earth rotation?
Mm-hmm.
There is a few videos from the Russian guys. There are two Russians out in the space doing nothing. You know, they have like a saber, like a sword.
The sword.
Exactly. That video, if you speed it up, you're gonna see like the clouds coming again, the same clouds.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, when they are using
right back.
In the
Check on the fire
60s,
for a minute.
70s, they
full
don't
screen
have any
this.
kind of compositing digital, but they do it in this way. They painting by hand. They painting a sphere by hand, and they take pictures of that. That is why there is so real in the 60s. It's more real than today. A few things.
Oh, by far.
Yes, and that is because they use a lot of miniatures, a lot of models. So they photograph model, and they have, you know, a more realistic lighting situation.
Oh, plus they can do green screen, which absolutely, you know, makes it easy for them. They can do anything. I mean, green screen allows them to then take high altitude footage and put it behind so-called spacewalks. Or I think I have a video here. I've got, let me see if I have this right here. Just keep sharing your screen because I'm just going to put this on the feed there. I've got, I thought I did have it. Is it the Gemini Corona military? Oh, I thought I had this Gemini footage. If I can find it, it's basically showing what where they so-called do the practices, but it's not it's where they do the real stuff. It's in a warehouse.
But look at this image.
Let me go back and
this image. It's exactly the same image that they show us on the live footage. And this is Kennedy Space Center. This is a game.
Wait, I don't see what you're showing because I just see Bob Ross painting.
Okay. Let me just... You are not seeing that? Okay, I'm going to...
I don't think
screaming.
so. Let me see.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Now I
Okay.
see
Okay.
whatever that
You
is.
see this, and this is like the real images on the ISS. And this is a game. You go into the Space Kennedy Center and you're gonna have this adventure.
Oh, jeez.
So it's in fact, when the game starts, because this is like a presentation, but when you enter to the game, you're gonna see like a real model of Atlantis. In fact, I think is the real Atlantis space shuttle, and then you're gonna see the screen and the Earth passing by.
And it's identical.
It's identical, exactly. It's identical.
Only
So they are NASA, they are SpaceX. They can't fake this.
Yeah, and if you go back to the older stuff, I'll just transition to this real quick. But what you get is you see this is the Project Gemini craft. Supposedly they're doing tests or whatever. But really, if you move through this stuff, it is the exact same thing that we saw with Apollo, that we saw with Gemini, that we saw with Mercury. That these are the movements. If you've ever seen the stupid little LEM that's kind of like moving as it goes through the moon motions, and it's going through the separation, the redocking. This is exactly what they did. They did it in a warehouse like this, and this is why you get those herky-jerky movements. Is it's just this thing's moving there. Then what do? They turn off all the lights, but if you pay attention to some of that footage from the moon, you'll see things like this cord, like this stick, like a rafter, like a light. All these things are seen in actual space footage. So you see this thing's doing its little gimbal, and all this stuff is what they used, at least back then. I'm not saying necessarily that they use it now, but I'm saying that this is what they did, was just carry things like this in a black room, and it looks like it's in space. But I mean, like you said, it doesn't look real anymore.
No.
No.
No. In fact, no. In fact, because I'm looking with the delay, because you are not sharing on Skype.
Oh, right. Sorry.
But I'm looking right now that warehouse with all these machines.
Right.
The scale model. Where do you get this?
This particular one, the Project Gemini Rendezvous Docking, probably from archive.org. That's where I get a lot of stuff from.
It's a real, it's a real good one.
Yeah, that's a real NASA one too. I mean, it's and you can see when it docks here. And I'll kind of rewind it. So when it docks, it's identical to what we see with the docking now. It's like, it's so ridiculous that, it just brings these things together, and then of course you hit it and it knocks this one around. But that's, excuse me. But that wouldn't work in space like that. I mean, you're going to knock it off its course. Even when the astronauts, like when they are chasing each other around in the monkey suit, all that movement, that's a transfer of energy that needs to push the structure in that direction. You constantly have to be adjusting. In fact, I don't know if you've seen, I did a video where I did a time lapse recently. Oops, what happened to my picture? Sure. Where I did a time lapse recently of the ISS. What is going on? What is this? Oh, that's the Iridium 4. Oh, this thing again. But yeah, I mean, you see a time lapse of what this thing's supposedly doing in space, and it shows the ISS moving in all these directions, and people forget. Oops, I need to turn that off. Was that you or me?
No, it was a video for me. I just paused it because I wanted to show you something based on this situation you're talking about.
Go ahead. You can show. I have you up. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, yeah, perfect. Exactly. Let me put that over here. That is exactly what I'm talking about.
And
show that again.
You are seeing my screen now?
No, for some reason, hold on, let me see. It's not sharing it again. Why does that happen?
Okay, let me...
What did you do last time? Whatever you did last time. There you go. Now we got it.
Okay. You are seeing like now.
Yeah, I see it.
So you can see here is... But for your surprise, in our days, they have the same situation. Because, for example, if I show you this clip, which is from NASA today's, they show you the supposedly Orion capsule, how it's going to dock, and you can see here the situation. So if you put a camera right here and you put a green screen and then you film this, it's the same.
Mm-hmm. Are you playing anything or are you just showing it? I'm just making sure you're not showing us a video. Oh, damn it. No, you're playing a video.
Yes, I play a video.
I wonder why it's not working.
Maybe, okay, I'm going to let you again, share again.
Yeah, let me try and see. So you hit stop sharing first and then share again.
Okay.
Because it looks like you're just, all I see is an image.
Yeah, no, it's a video. I put play right now. You
Okay.
can see the video?
Yeah, now I see a guy. Yeah, there you go. Awesome.
Okay, so, I mean, you have this. Of course, they show us this kind of situation, trying to explain how it's going to work. But if you take this on the studio and you put some green screen, or even better, you put black screen out there and you show this, it's like nobody's going to tell you that there is no in the space.
No, because you'd have to go up there to prove it.
Exactly, because all the docking cameras is just a first camera supposedly stick on some side of the rocket, and they just show how they dock. They don't show nothing different. So it's the same thing that you show before, but in our days. Make it a little better, but it's the same thing. And when you're talking about the Gemini project, for example, you have there is a little suspected thing, because when the Gemini the Gemini project start, there was also at the same time that they have like a really great advance in the stop motion technology. At this time, in the 1965, the movie called The Hand, which was made from Russian guys, they received an Academy Award from Hollywood for the best stop motion movie. So there you can see how both countries, they have the same techniques at the same time. They work together.
They all work together.
Exactly. So here was the movie called The Hand. The director was Jeran, and they have a really good, fluid motion, because this was.
What was the name of the director?
This one. I can't pronounce it.
What did you say though?
I said Jeran.
Okay, I was going to say. I just wanted to hear it again.
Okay, that guy.
Shitty Trunka,
yeah. Yes, and he was like he received this kind of award, and of course this guy also received the award from the Motion Picture and Science Academy, and he dies in 1969.
Oh boy.
Just in 1969, he died. He made this movie, he performed this technique, and he died the same year that supposedly we go to the moon. And when you compare these situations, when you compare this kind of technique, and you see the Gemini 4 mission, you have the same thing. In fact, the most unbelievable thing is when this astronaut turned the head and moved the helmet.
Yeah.
He moved the helmet.
Yeah, and then somebody says like, oh, that's possible because they went back and found some document saying that they could move those helmets. But again, people don't realize that that's easy to make now, that somebody pointed it out. Oh, yeah, now the helmets they could move. They could swing. They could swivel. But yeah, he just turns his head. It's stop motion.
Yes, it's totally stop motion. In fact, the movement of the guy, the legs, they never touch the legs. They never move the legs. They are all like puppets. They are human puppets, real human puppets. And there is these guys. They make a really good job on those days. That is for sure. There is no doubt. But when you see 20, 30 years later, it's clearly the fakery in all these images.
Yeah, I have this one here. Oh, geez.
I stopped sharing. Now this is if you see the Earth in the background, it's the same as our days.
Right.
It's almost the same. The clouds are static. The sphere rotates all together. There is no kind of layer in cloud. They are all stick like one layer.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not real life. That is not real life.
Look at that. That's so bad.
No, and they never. The legs are all the time. They have really straight legs because they use this kind of apparatus. So the legs, they never can touch, the heels, for example, or the knees. They must have all the time the legs open with a kind of a space between each leg. And they never move the legs. They are like static on the legs. They all the time keep the same space between the legs. And that's impossible. Why you're going to react like that? I mean...
Yeah, something I've actually thought before, and I have to do more research on it, but I've seen so many times that they do that their legs are static. I think possibly that their real legs might come out and have fins. They use them to swim. And I've thought that. And then they use their fake legs as their stationary bottom that we think are their legs. It's funny, I've thought that before because I've seen things like you're saying where they'll just keep their legs in the exact same position for way too long.
Yes, could be something like that. Could be something like that. I don't know, but when I see that, immediately I see, okay, this kind of simulation they have traveled with the legs, and when you compare in the supposedly real missions, they have the same problem. They have the legs in equal space all the time, separated in equal space. That is impossible. That doesn't have any sense. That you can, in fact, all the body is moving, but the legs is totally straight in the same position.
Right. Yeah, it might be just something like this.
Exactly. They have it's.
What is the point of that?
I believe they maybe take some cable in the middle. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because they use black background. So if you have, for example, this kind of plastic in between, but you paint in black, you're not gonna see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, they maybe have some kind of rig in between to put some cables, and they are all painted in black, so they mix with the background, and that is why maybe they can move the legs. But there is,
and they still have so much of this crappy fake stuff too. It's not like they got rid of all this stuff. A lot of it's still around. Here's a picture from the recent Soyuz launch.
Share your screen via Skype, so I don't
Let me see
wait
here.
to
Call and share screens. All right, you should be able to see it now. This is the recent Soyuz launch, and you see these guys are in their little capsules, and it's so funny because it starts out, obviously they're facing up, and as they take off and go horizontal, the window view never changes. See, the view is still light outside. And as they get up here and this thing, then they switch to, they want you to see the animated view. But over here, watch this. This is hilarious. So, and this is supposed to be real, folks. This is not a joke. This is supposed to be real. So watch from here. So they just entered into orbit, supposedly. And this is the next view we get. So just like we get the rocket view from the Falcon, look at this.
No.
Yeah, it's real. Look at that. I mean, you got to be kidding. It's the worst camera of all time.
In fact, all that kind of aura surrounding the spacecraft.
Now, sometimes they've gotten a little better. Like this is the Soyuz when it's leaving Earth. But again, I mean, it's so ridiculous. I mean, look at this.
But you can see the cloud there, man. It's the whole planet is a cloud.
Right. You don't see anything.
The planet cloud. It's not the planet Earth.
Yeah, planet cloud. Yeah. This whole view, I love this. This is my favorite. I mean, if it wasn't for stuff like this, I mean, this is so obvious. I mean, what year are we in? This looks like it's 1940s.
Yes, in fact, they use the same kind of interface from the 80s. I don't know.
Yeah, same thing.
They never change. They never change the interface.
Yeah, I have a video of them connecting. I hope I saved it. It was just the other day when they went up. It's right after that rocket launch. Then they connect. And when you see the thing connect, it is so funny. I think I saved it. Give me 1 second. I hope I did. When was that? It would have been here. When was that?
And a few days ago, I uploaded a video in Spanish talking about the Moon's Virgin Galactic, and that kind of things. And Moon's Press, they was talking in 2007 that this year, 2017, they gonna put a robot on the moon.
Oh yeah, yep, I've heard that.
And they, of course, they don't even get close to.
Oh, I have a video that says in 2014 they'll do it. They just keep it. They just keep it extending it. It's just every chance they get, just extend it again, extend it again. What did I do with that video? Hold on 1 second. I thought I had it here. This is the Soyuz launch, so it would have been right after this one. This one doesn't show it. Yeah, shoot. I thought I had it, but I'm not seeing it. 1 second. It would have been right after that. I didn't save it. Nope. Oh, wait,
this was like a Christmas present for the follower, right?
Yeah. Yep. I got to go to my dad's house tonight, but not until then. So I had a little time and wanted to talk about that. I mean, the whole SpaceX thing is just such a joke. Where is that video? Yeah, I thought I had it. 72 Apollo. Nope. Would have been after that. Maybe, nope. Alien Russian. Oh, that's something else.
Oh. It's really nice when you. I have the same problem.
Yeah, you have too much stuff.
So many videos. It's a little difficult.
And sometimes I add them to like a playlist on YouTube, and I always forget which ones did I add to the playlist or which one did I save.
Yeah, I have folders called to order. And then I have to order 2, to order 3, to order 4, so on.
Okay, maybe it's this one. Let me see what we have on this one. Oh yeah, this is it here. No, this is the one of it leaving. I wanted the one of it coming.
Look at that clouds.
Yeah, this one here was really bad. I remember this one now, but it's not what I was looking for. They had one where they connected. This is the one where it left. This is about 3 days before that. In fact, it's the one we just saw, but from the ISS view. The one we just saw just a second ago. This is the same thing because it leaves here like this. Watch this. So funny. It's better. Oh, actually, speed it up. I forgot I can do fast speed. I'm gonna get it going like this. I'm gonna get it going fast.
It's impossible for the cloud doesn't change even a molecule. It's
A molecule.
It's fun to watch things in fast motion.
yeah. Supposedly, what kind of propulsion this capsule use?
Falling around the Earth.
It's attracting by the Earth, supposedly.
Yeah. Because the spin that you see below it is not even the spin of the Earth. The Earth spins the other way. So it's just because of the speed of the craft. Look at this thing. What's causing a shadow of it over there?
And then, no, it's impossible.
Yeah, it's not. It's funny.
No, and the
what was that shadow?
Thing is, I don't know. I don't know when it's going to going to the Earth.
No, right now it's flying away. It's going up and away from it for some reason.
And also it's very funny when they show when the capsule enter to the Earth.
Oh, right.
You never see it.
No.
It just appear, the parachute open and.
Because they're inside this one, but this part burns up and this part burns up, but this part makes it through because I
Yes.
guess reasons. I don't know.
And when they touch the ground, at that kind of speed, why they don't show, for example, a live camera inside the capsule?
I
when
said
it's
the same
touching
thing.
down?
Right, or yeah, exactly. We've never seen that. And what about right now? Why don't we get a camera from inside? They could just hold a GoPro camera right up to the window. They're right next to it. You'll never see it.
Exactly.
You'll never see it.
No.
Yeah, that is crazy. And I was just gonna check if I did happen to get that, but I don't think I did.
Get out of here.
And I think, and I think this kind of situation that SpaceX made yesterday, it's because they are enable the G5 communication.
What is that?
I mean, I don't know if you remember a few shows before on Globebuster. I play a video calling Fiber in the Sky, which is based in the G5 technology.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
Okay. Well, there is a new concept calling Fiber in the Sky, because they are like using fiber optics, but with the system of G5. So when they launch all this kind of supposedly iridium, it's like because this deploy of this iridium supposedly was for having, for example, GPS on the planes and better communications with the ships on the sea, on the ocean, all this kind of stuff. Like, we never do it before. Supposedly with 14,000 satellites up there. So the iridium is gonna make it.
Right.
And
like, what are we gonna get? What do I get that's new? What can we do now that we couldn't do before?
Exactly. So the situation is right now we are starting to use G5 technology, and G5 technology is allowed to these kind of things. So it's like for me, it's like a part of the show, They say, okay, now because we have complete the Iridium network, now we can make this. But at the same time, in real life, is because you are putting more antennas using G5.
Right.
So it's a show business, no doubt about it.
Hey, thanks for the sub.
Here in Argentina,
You're watching me from YouTube
we have
right now.
a company
Type something here in the chat.
putting nano satellites. And they give, like you do. The CEO of the company gives some talks in TED show, and he said in the TED show, he talks about all the image that we take from our nano satellite before was released to the public. It's approved by Mossad or NASA.
Yep.
And you say, what? You supposedly you have your own nano satellites out there, and you need to approve it from the Mossad to show to the images to the public.
Can you imagine? Crazy.
Yes, here in Argentina and Latin America is the same show. We are not have any independence based on the aerospace or
nothing at all.
No. It's all based on the regulation of NASA.
Let me show. This is a closer view here. We can see better, but yep, I wanted to show that. So I'll just show this here. You can see my screen still?
I see your screen via Skype, yes.
Okay.
In fact, Richie Von Basten show a nice comparison because when you see that kind of the rocket leave behind the trail, it's like when the bullet enter in the water. So that is not for me, it's not smoke. There is something more, you know, having to do with the atmospheric component.
And like these things here are staying at equal speed with the rocket, which is crazy. I mean, that's just not possible. And even if they drop it and they transfer the energy, it's still not going to go as fast as this thing being powered by rockets. There's another plane flew by. There's another one flew by. Another one. I'm fast forwarding it a little bit here. There's another one. Look at these things. There's another one. I mean, there's planes all over the place. That's why I think it was some sort of test. See this one? There goes that plane. I mean, they're not going to let planes fly anywhere near this thing.
And you doesn't even see any kind of you know, part of the rocket itself. It's like you see just the trail behind, and you don't see the metal part of the rocket. Of course,
no.
We can think, okay, it's so far away, it's really small, whatever. But I don't know. It's a huge trail that is leaving behind. I don't know what it could be.
Neither do I. I just think there was so many aircrafts up there that they were conducting some sort of test or something. I'm not sure what it was. It'll take much more research than just looking at it. But as far as it being the rocket that went up there and released satellites, that's a joke.
Yes, I saw that. And they show all the they show like with interval of 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and supposedly you see the curve of the satellite leave behind, and you see all together in the last one. You see like a ring of satellite deploy behind.
Yeah.
And with that, we complete the deployment of the Iridium 4 webcast. See you next time. Bye.
Then that guy had to go back to renting size 8 shoes at the bowling alley. It was his job right after. I can't stand that guy, Upbringer or whatever his name is. Jerry Usbringer or something. But yeah, I just don't think there's any way they would have any planes anywhere near this area. And, you know, they just go dump this rocket out in the ocean. Which, by the way, they admit to that they... You know, that's where it goes. It's not like I'm making that up. And if the plane is higher than the rocket, it doesn't make any sense. When you go back and look at the separation, at the separation point, which would have been right before this. Let me see if I find the video so we can see the actual separation. Okay, so this is the. Okay, so it takes off here. Now at this separation point, right here, look at the speed that we're going. 72, 77 kilometers per hour. That's about 5,000. 5,000 miles per hour right there. And I mean, it just took off. You know what I mean? That was...
No, and this kind of camera view, it doesn't have any sense. You know, the scale of the thing, the scale of the aluminum paper, it's like a loop, because why is this so hot? You know, and I mean, could be fire inside, but out in the space, you can't produce that kind of fire.
No, they say they bring their own oxygen, but it's just another excuse, like everything. And that's the thing. At what point are we going to stop allowing them to make an excuse for everything? I mean, that's the thing. They could get away with anything. There's nothing that they can't get away with, because people will accept any excuse.
Yeah, in fact, when you see the original views from the Saturn V, when they supposedly go to the moon, when you start to see the separation stage, you see actual fire.
Mm-hmm.
And that's impossible.
Right.
It's impossible. And you see actual fire leave behind anytime the Saturn V leave a stage behind. You see the ring with fire.
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
I'm trying to watch this. I recently I've started liking watching things in fast motion. I feel like I can see more. I can see what they're doing better. So this right here is incredibly fast. It's probably it's 8 times speed, I think, right now.
I do the same. I do the same. When you see in fast speed, you can like detect, you know, it's more like you can see more the level of scale they are using, or I don't know. It's different, but you see more details.
Yeah, you can, because I think a lot of the stuff that they play is just in slow motion as well. They film it, and so when you speed it up, you're actually seeing what they filmed, and then they slow it down and show it to you. You know, like the whole idea of floating in space or whatever. Like this is more like the speed that they would be doing it in the simulator. Is what I'm saying. Is that this is, you know, it's just easier to see. Like for instance, let me go back to that place where the sun was here, and because they slow it down to give you the appearance that it's in space.
Exactly.
Right. So where is that piece? Right here. If you watch this when the sun is over here, you can see things flying towards, and then they drop as if, but that's why they slow it down. It's because it doesn't look like it's in space here. Looks like they're dropping things from somewhere. Where is that view? I thought it was right here. Okay, so watch, yeah, right here. See this little piece flying? And then it hits right here and then falls down. See it? Let's watch again. I don't know if you can see it because it is kind of small. There it goes. This little piece hits that and falls down. So I mean, it's like, but when you watch it in slow motion, you can't really see that. But by speeding it up, you'll see. Where did that piece go? Did I lose it again? Sorry, it's going too fast. Now I can't catch it. Okay, right here. There it goes, and hits and falls.
Well, yesterday I was seeing the part when the supposedly rockets start, not at the beginning. I mean, when they are in the space trying to reach the 600 kilometers, and they, when they drop this kind of particles, you can see like it's bouncing, and then in that diagonal trajectory, they bounce and hit something in the black space, and they, you know, falling down, bounce, going up. But I think was just some kind of maybe other particles from bottom comes to the top. Maybe it's not the same particle, but I have seen some bouncings of this particle. I don't know where they bounce, but when you show the simulation, the old simulation, you can have some idea.
So what do you think of are all these planes that we're seeing? What is that? What do you think? Did you see a lot of that or no?
The planes, the
I mean,
white points.
Watch this little light here. If you can see my mouse.
Yes, I see it.
Okay, so this little light here just hangs around with it the whole time. See, it's going to be, now it's kind of zooming out, so you're going to see it again here on the left. And it's going to come up here in a second. See, there it goes there. Now it's just all over the place, like staying with it. Which, remember, it's supposed to be going, look at this, it's just flying around it. And it's supposed to be going, at this point, it's got to be going 10,000 miles per hour or more. That's what they wanted you to believe.
Yeah, for me, the difficult part of trying to understand that situation is because the sky is so black and we don't have like, you know, the perception of
no, especially with them zooming in and everything.
And so maybe it's a drone. I don't believe because it's very I don't know. I mean, could be the way.
Put it this way.
That light is.
Put it this way. If you watch a plane that flies from your horizon to your horizon. So let's go to a video that's on from the ground. But if you watch a plane go from horizon to horizon from your view, how far is that plane flying, do you think, and how long would that take?
It's gonna take a few minutes and not fly more than 800 kilometers, 700 kilometers.
Right.
I don't know how much time, but maybe like 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I would say even 10, maybe 15.
Or 10, yeah, 10, 15.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so
the same of this.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is it's the identical. I'm trying to find the. I thought I had another ground view here. Because what's this one? That's the live view from the IS, or that's from the telecast. I'm trying to find one of my videos of from the ground. Where did I do with it? Did I have another one? No, I don't see it. But I wanted to show another one from the ground because then we'll just, oh, this one, is this one from the ground? Anaheim? Let me see this one. Is this the people from the ground? Yeah. So these people here are low. See this? So,
Yes.
okay, so they're watching it go up, and this whole video is, let's see how long they see it for. They see this thing for 5 minutes. So it's going up. Now it's going to level out. Now it's going to be supposedly, well, we see it going horizontal. And they're able to just track this thing. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. It should be long gone. In this whole video is 5 minutes, 16 seconds. So, I mean, you know, maybe 10 minutes, like I said, for a plane to go from one horizon to the other. This one hasn't even got to the other horizon. And it's still only 5 minutes.
Yeah, no. The speed is impossible to reach the speed that the telemetry show in the live cast. It's impossible.
It's so off.
Impossible. I have one, for example, here in my screen. I don't know if you see it from a reporter, news reporter.
1 second, I'll show that. I was just going to show this is the, you know, these blue angels that go by. You know, they're not even going faster than the speed of sound. You know, maybe going about that. So they're going. Watch this thing come and go, and imagine that you know you're watching this thing just take off, and before you know it, this thing is going to be gone. It's just. And it goes up in the sky here. If it's higher, I can understand that people would say, well, it's going to take longer. Yeah, because you're watching it higher. But
yeah, but what is the speed of that plane? 1,000 kilometers?
Not even 500 miles per hour, maybe. Look at this one here.
Maybe.
And watch how quickly this thing is gone out of your sight. And it even comes back here in a second. But, I mean, that thing is going to be, there it goes, it's gone. It's going 500 miles per hour, maybe. And so if this thing took off in the sky, it'd be gone. You're not going to sit there and watch it for 7 minutes. It would be out of your sight in no time. And yet, here comes it. You can just see it now because it's coming back. But again, if it took off into the sky that way, it'd be gone. You would see it for a minute at the most. Yet, we're able to see these rocket launches for 6, 7, 8 minutes. It's because they're going 500 miles per hour. So how about this too? Where is the? Why don't we hear the sonic boom when these rockets take off?
For example, yeah.
Right. I mean that would have taken off right by the airport. I mean, right by land there at Edwards. So I'm just wondering why there was no sonic boom. And there should have been a sonic boom when the thing came back, because that's what it always does, right? It comes back from so-called space. I'm going to share your screen right now. Oops, I was going to. Okay, go ahead and share. There you go.
Yeah, I share the screen. No, it's just another view from the ground.
Wait, hold on. I'm getting the same thing again. Not seeing.
Okay.
Let me.
Okay.
Go ahead and try and share your screen again. For some reason, it doesn't ever transfer. Let me see what we got here.
Right
okay, now I got it. Yep, now I got it.
Okay, no, this guy is from the ground and is the reporter the launch, and he showed from the beginning. It's in color, so there is a rocket. I going forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's in the sky. We see with the flame, typical flame color, and then when they reach a certain altitude, and I think because maybe there is no more air and the composition of the atmosphere up there make the fire go down, and you start to see this kind of situation, and suddenly the rocket start to make this kind of strange trail,
right,
leave behind.
Hey, how long is that video? You're like from the point when it takes off? I can't see
5
this.
5 minutes.
5 minutes also.
5 minutes
okay.
is a complete video.
Right.
This is the first stage, and
right.
Even in one moment, the first stage is going to like split in 2 points of light, which is something that a little strange. And look at the supposedly scale of this trail.
Right.
There is a little point, for example, up here.
And what was that supposed to be?
I don't know.
fairing
Look at
separation?
this is real time. I am not speeding
Okay.
up, nothing.
Do me a favor. Let's just watch something real quick. Oh, wait. Let me try and put them both on the screen. What we should do is you start that one, and I'm going to start the actual live cast at the same time. Go ahead and get that one ready from the very beginning. And let's see if they match up here. Let me get my live view up from the webcast. Okay, so I got the webcast. I'm going to go right to where it takes off. And then I'm going to square them both up. Okay, so this is... Where's the takeoff? Okay, so you write it launch.
I have pause in the video, and this is the starting.
Okay, 1 second. Let me put them both together. You can already see the red then on yours? Let me get it.
I don't see your screen.
I know, I'm going to pull it up. So
in the Skype.
Pause it right there. Yeah, pause it right there.
I'm going to pause exactly when the fire go in the hit there.
Okay, 1 second. Let me pull up mine too. And then I need to add scene and this one. Yeah. Let's see if that works. Okay, so now I've got them both, and we'll pull them up here in a second. Oops, the screen's too big. Okay, it's kind of not really fitting very well, but it'll work. Okay, so now
let me
go ahead and start. Go ahead and start yours, and I'm going to start mine at the same time. Go ahead.
Okay, go. 1, 2, 3.
Go. Okay, leave it there for a second.
I'm gonna leave the mouse down on the screen so you can see the supposedly real time. And I'm going to see in the YouTube.
Yeah, it'll come up in a second. I can't share because if I share, then I can't see yours. So.
Okay.
Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. In the YouTube live video, it's the two screen. It's good.
Yeah, it's working. Yeah, it looks like they're pretty close. I think that the takeoff was pretty close. So I want to see that second thing that flew off that you showed. Because I don't know what that little thing was. You know, the piece after the first stage, and then there was like another little piece.
Yes, and there is like another point, and then there is from the first stage, it's again split in 2 points. Sorry, it's my phone. Give me a minute.
No problem. So I think you guys can see it okay. It's kind of a... I did it quick. I should have done maybe before. Thought about that. But I want to see here if the... And I don't know how close we are. I can't say that they are right on. Oh, can I look at the time? No, I can't see his time. It's too small. It actually looks like maybe the one on the left is a little bit ahead. Oh, obviously it is.
If you like, I can...
Hit pause for 1 second. Hit pause.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you when. Jeez. Well, that doesn't seem like it's on. Maybe now?
Okay.
Go ahead and play now.
Because we have a trail interruption.
Yeah, but I'm just that might be from one position because maybe it's not from the other guy. Wait, what happened here? Where'd my video go? Oh, it's going to come back right now. It just needs to move over a little bit.
Because in the webcast, the stream of the smoke never stopped, right?
No, it didn't. I don't think it did.
It's like a continue situation.
Maybe maybe it was on. Because see,
in my video.
Go ahead.
Yeah, in my video, it just happened the second stage situation. I don't know in the live cast.
Okay, go right about 1 second. I'll tell you when to press play. It's going to be right about... yeah, see, it's going to be about right here. Because that's when it would be shooting off the other thing. But you don't see this thing shooting anything. Go ahead and press play there. See, supposedly this thing is doing that. right? Because the live cast is showing now. It's going to show the rocket view. I don't even think it goes back to the. See, it's showing that.
There is when they open the. I see with the delay in the YouTube, but there is the second stage. There is the second stage in the YouTube when they start, and they pass to the ridiculous camera on the thruster.
Yeah, that was the view that they showed from the live cast. Is yours playing or no?
I am playing. It took like 4 minutes to the second stage.
For some reason,
separation.
For some reason, it doesn't translate. Sometimes it's just not playing. Oh, there it goes. So what's
This
that
time
thing there?
They don't show the landing of the second stage, right?
No, I think it went out in the ocean.
And here I played.
Wait, you mean the first stage?
Here you can see these 2 points coming from the first stage, and I don't know which is these 2 points, for example.
Yeah, me neither. But you're talking about the first stage that they didn't show it coming back, you mean?
Yes,
Right
I'm sorry, I confused the first, the second. Yes, the first stage, they don't show the landing of the first stage.
No, I don't think it didn't even have landing legs. So it couldn't even land. If that's what it was supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? Usually the rocket has the landing legs on it. This one had no legs. So they just dumped it in the ocean supposedly.
Okay.
Which still makes no sense. You'd think they'd have to have the legs on there to at least know where it was going to go and what trajectory and everything. I don't know. But they didn't have any of that. I wonder if it didn't look like it matched up at all to me.
No, in fact, I was I download all the video because I want to make like this kind of synchronization times, showing the live cast and the multiple views from the regular people on the ground and the plane and the helicopter, and trying to see when these kind of things synchronize. And for me, the most clear thing is the straight path of the rocket or whatever it is, and the speed that they have, and they can go any way,
right?
Because there is a lot of land still to leave behind to supposedly leave the Earth,
right? Go back to the start one more time where you showed him taking off.
Yes.
I just want to see it one more time because go right there. Go ahead and press play from there.
I press play.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can try and see here. So it's pause yours for a second, and then press play now. I think that's a little bit more close. Because I think it takes off from like behind a hill almost.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, that's, the clouds is weird because you're going to not see the same clouds, which is just crazy. I mean, where's the clouds? Why is that one not going through clouds? I can't tell where that view is from, but doesn't it look like it's about the same view? So it's interesting too that they use this black and white camera on the right. Oh, and you have the other view as well.
For example, the view from the helicopter, I'm going trying to synchronize, because here it's also the
braking it.
Yeah, the braking, exactly. So I place pause.
And so this one's zoomed in all the way, so you can't see the brake on the webcast.
Yeah, because it's zoomed in all the time on the rocket.
Right, but then here, see, it's getting like, trying to see what's going on with the other one.
So,
because I didn't see it. Yeah, it's coming right here, right? Yours looks a little bit more pitched, but again, we can't tell what angle it's coming from.
In my video, it's gonna come the brake.
We'll just let it play and see how it goes. Okay, so there's the brake there.
Yes, exactly, and like.
A little longer.
Like there started the break, so it's like that one. Yeah, here is a very synchronized because
Close.
it start to leave behind all these.
Yeah. And the other one is not even doing anything like that. But again, they're almost showing the camera out in front of it. Is that just my being off camera? Oh, here it comes. See, then it released that one little piece there. And it just so happened that the thing was out of camera view. Now they'll kind of back up. I mean, that looks nothing the same.
No, here in the helicopter view and the reporter view, it's really it's the same event. It's the same event.
Yeah, but you see the one on the right is way off.
In the
See the one on the clouds. Why is that one not going through clouds? I can't tell where the clouds. That's what it was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Usually the rocket has the landing legs on it. This one had no legs. So they just dumped it in the ocean supposedly.
Okay.
Which still makes no sense. You'd think they'd have to have the legs on there to at least know where it was going to go and what trajectory. I don't know, but they didn't have any of that. I wonder if it didn't look like it matched up at all to me.
No, in fact, I was I download all the video because I want to make like this kind of synchronization times, showing the live cast and the multiple views from the regular people on the ground and the plane and the helicopter, and trying to see when these kind of things synchronize. And for me, the most clear thing is the straight path of the rocket or whatever it is, and the speed that they have, and they can go any way.
Right.
Because there is a lot of land still to leave behind to supposedly leave the Earth.
Right. Go back to the start one more time where you showed him taking off.
Yes.
I just want to see it one more time because go right there. Go ahead and press play from there.
I press play.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can try and see here. So it's
But
gonna pause yours for a second, and then press play now. I think that's a little bit more close. Because I think it takes off from like behind a hill almost.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, that's, the clouds is weird because you're going to not see the same clouds, which is just crazy. I mean, where's the clouds? Why is that one not going through clouds? I can't tell where that view is from, but doesn't it look like it's about the same view? So it's interesting, too, that they use this black and white camera on the right. Oh, and you have the other view as well.
For example, the view from the helicopter, I'm going trying to synchronize because here it's also the
break in it.
Yeah, the break-in. Exactly. So I place pause.
And so this one's zoomed in all the way so you can't see the break on the webcast.
Yeah, because it's zoomed in all the time on the rocket.
Right. But then here, see, it's getting like, trying to see what's going on with the other one.
So,
because I didn't see it. Yeah, it's coming right here, right? Yours looks a little bit more pitched, but again, we can't tell what angle it's coming from.
In my video, it's gonna come the break.
We'll just let it play and see how it goes. Okay, so there's the break there.
Yes, exactly, and like
a little longer.
Like there started the break, so it's like that one. Yeah, here is a very synchronized because it start to leave behind all these.
Yeah. And the other one is not even doing anything like that, but again, they're almost showing the camera out in front of it. Is that just my being off camera? Oh, here it comes. See, then it released that one little piece there. And it just so happened that the thing was out of camera view. Now they'll kind of back up. I mean, that looks nothing the same.
No, here in the helicopter view and the reporter view, it's really, it's the same event. It's the same event.
Yeah, but you see the one on the right is way off.
In your screen.
Do you think we could have
You
been?
mean-
Do you think we could have been that far off with our starting?
I don't know, because I don't know. I mean, the persons, the people on the street, they see the same event, but I don't see that much on the livecaster, like the webcast, and that 2 points appear there, and
that's the
I don't
last you get
know.
to see. Yeah, it doesn't look very. I'll have to check it because the hard part is I don't. You know, when you see the actual thing taking off, may not be at all the same time that we see it take off over here, because if it's coming from behind that hill, then it takes off several seconds before, and that's might be why we're off. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
But yes, totally. But for me, I want to take the time to make the comparison. But
Right.
I don't know if this is the same thing that SpaceX original, cameraman show.
So see right there in this view, oh, right there, let me go, I'm just going to pause right here so you can see this. So right here it's showing, I guess this is from, let me get it up there, where was it? Where was that view?
From the back.
From the back,
the
right?
SpaceX.
This one here. That's from the back, right? And it's showing, oops, let me go back a little bit. And these are the two things that you were seeing in the other view. See these two things here?
I'm still waiting
Oh,
to
yeah, sorry.
arrive in the YouTube.
Yeah, I forgot
live
I'm not
video.
sharing. Well, the point where we saw those two things kind of next to is, I'm guessing, right here. And this is supposedly from the ground, I guess. Now I'm all confused.
But the thing is, in that moment, that the rocket is about 100 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
So
High?
high.
That's
so
what they
it's
say, you mean.
impossible to. That is what the telemetry said.
Right.
So why is gonna leave behind at 100 kilometers? There is no the atmospheric situation to leave behind all that trail.
No. No, it's because it's not that high.
Exactly. That is the things that caught my attention was the straight path, the time that took to leave the view, and the height, because it's impossible from a helicopter take it's almost in the parallel line with the helicopter or with the plane view. It's impossible to be 100 kilometers, more than 100 kilometers up there and behave, in that kind of situation. I am not a specialist, of course, but
Oh, you know what? I'm not sure, but let's do it one more time, because I just saw down here there's the default button for speed, which may have meant that I had the speed wrong. I don't think I did, because, but we should try it again. Let me go back to that one. I don't want people to think that it didn't match up if it does. Let me go back up here. I think maybe the speed was off. I think I would have seen that during the launch, but the default button's only on here when I wasn't on the right speed. So unless I changed it on that last video. Okay, go back to the starting point.
I am in the starting point.
Okay, let me see where you're at. Okay, and I'll tell you when to start.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and start there. Okay, again, pause yours for 1 second. And I'll tell you when. Okay, now go. And maybe it's the same speed. It doesn't look any different to me.
I am not seeing your video, but
Yeah, it'll come on here in a second, yeah. But it was just really weird. Unless I changed the speed accidentally, because my mouse wheel does the speed.
okay.
But I don't think that I did it on the other video. Does this one still say? Yeah, so now it doesn't say default, so that means it's on the default speed. Let me see here. If that changes it, maybe now there'll be more.
If you need to put pause or something like that, just tell me.
You tell me what you think when you see it on the live. See if you can tell. I keep thinking yours looks like it's angled more horizontal quicker, but can't really tell.
Here the reporter is just speaking on top of the video, and it seems like it's real time. They are not speeding up or something like that.
I can't tell if it's any different than last time. We're about to find out. I know I was watching videos in fast speed before, so that if anything, it would have had to been on slow speed, right? If it was, yeah. I don't think
no, but your video, I feel your video is regular speed.
Yeah, it looks like it, right? Oh, but see now, let me see here what happens here. Okay, so then that part goes out. Oh yeah, so I did have it on slow. Because that part, the red part, happened way after. I think. Let me see, this part will know right here, because then it comes back and does that big cloud. Yeah, I think that I did have it on slow. See, now it's kind of synced up again. It was worse before. It still doesn't match as far as the smoke, but again, they're using the black and white kind of weird looking thing here on the right.
Yeah, and they jump through. They make make this that camera movement that sometimes is get difficult to synchronizing. But
yeah, I'll have to do it. I'll have to do it too. It's hard to do it live, but that right there never doesn't seem to happen in the view on the left. And then this is supposedly now it should see that thing falling away, but you don't see any of the atmospheric cloud. See that?
No.
Why wouldn't we see that from here? It still would be being illuminated by the sun, and we didn't see any of that. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Because no, and there is the separation right there in their view. For example, I'm going to try to synchronize with the separation part.
But then it goes quickly to the nozzle view, and you can't really...
Yeah, exactly. That is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
They shunt to the thruster camera, and you lose any kind of continuity, because that is why, for me at least, that is why they make that kind of thing. Because if they are keep showing the same, you're going to see it like a straight line, you know? For example, I see on the YouTube Live, I see that kind of back camera from the SpaceX.
Right.
So the guy is filming, and you think that the rocket go up.
Right.
When you compare that time with the rest of the camera, at that moment the rocket goes straight. They're not going up.
Right.
They're going horizontal.
Yeah, and this thing keeps flipping back and forth between the rocket views, and in one of the views you should be able to see what's right behind it. But they're not showing any of that. I mean, it could be falling too, you know, coming down.
Yeah, they can be falling too.
But that's the thing. I mean, this is why I say that they could do so many things to prove, you know, with the multiple cameras, with the 4K. You know, how do you not have a helicopter or something up there with a 4K camera filming it? They don't have anything like that. They've got the camera filming it from the helicopter. It's the worst video of them all. Well, next to the one that they put on the webcast is the worst one of all.
We must make some kind of GoFundMe to buy some camera.
Jeez, they get $52 million. They get 52. I mean, NASA's getting $52 million a day. They got plenty of money. The most expensive camera you could probably find in the world is probably $500,000. I mean, that's even a stretch.
Yeah.
That one comes with 10 girlfriends, I guess, or something.
No, in fact, the most expensive part of the camera is not the camera, it's the lens.
Right.
So you can have any kind of camera to recording, and you can put a lens for, I don't know, $13,000, and you have like a telezoom lens.
Another thing is we never see the moon from the SpaceX footage.
No, for example. No.
Nope, not at all. Even when they're doing the satellite deployment and all that stuff, which I don't know if it's supposed to be behind the Earth at that time or whatever. That's what I want to, spend some time on. I don't think that they get that stuff wrong because it's too easy when you're using models, right? If you're going to model the Earth, then you can get it right because it's a model.
Yeah, but for me, it's here you can clearly see there is a totally horizontal line of travel.
Oh yeah.
There is no any indication of going nowhere more than just a straight path, like a plane, like regular flight machines.
Right. Okay. So, and if somebody says, "Well, this is perspective," you think it's going down, or you think it's going horizontal, but it's really going up, then where's the lights and stuff underneath the SpaceX rocket? Where's the lights of the Earth? Where's the ground? See how this is just black underneath here? But
yes,
if it's going up, then down below it, you would see the Earth's lights. You never see that from this view.
No, in fact, when, for example, in this helicopter camera, you can see like it's coming. It's difficult, but it's like here, where is my mouse is where going up and then turn into horizontal position, and they keep the horizontal position.
Yeah, and so I just rewound it a little bit mine because I'm trying to see. So when they're already supposedly, and that's what they have to do because they're fooling you, so they have to make it the equivalent of what it would be in their model or whatever. What I'm trying to say is, let me go back to right where they first show the cone here. So when they first show this cone, which is right after this part, yeah, when they first show that cone, the rocket's supposed to be going 7,000 kilometers an hour, and it's supposed to be 70-something kilometers high, which then they show that little Earth segment. Let me show you. Come on, get up there. Where's that part where they show the rocket cone? Oh, right here. During this little separation point, right about now-ish. Come on, get up there. Maybe right here. Okay, so when they first show this cone view, which is... I'm going to try and pause it when they get there. Look at just squirting guns or squirting water. It looks like. Okay, so this is the first view from the rocket cone, and then... Oh, that was interesting. What are we at here? I'm going to watch it again just for a second.
And there is also, for example, I never see this kind of behavior in any other rocket launches from NASA, for example.
Me neither.
So.
Well, I've seen that other one that we saw, and I am slowing it down now just so people. I was just watching this. It looked like there was a definite cut scene here. Let me see. I mean, look at this. You see that? I mean, that was like a... Let me show that one more time. Okay, so let me speed that up. So as soon as it goes to this rocket view, watch this part here. Okay, I'm going to slow it down now. Okay, so watch. You're going to see the scene cut, and then you'll see the rocket appear over here. Watch. See?
Yeah.
That was crazy, because that's... Definitely, let me watch it one more time here. I'm going to slow it down even more. Okay, so watch. This thing's going to cut scene, and then you'll see a rocket here.
Yeah, and doesn't match when they go to the thruster camera. It doesn't match like the propulsion supposedly that we are seeing from the ground, which the propulsion that's shown in the thruster.
Right.
You know, there is a lot of smoke, and when they jump to the thruster camera, it's just like this tiny flame there.
Oh yeah, I think we'll both show when we do that. It doesn't match at all. Because I just saw it do its RCS thrusters. Look at that. That's is that the first time they showed the Earth from there? Because that was bad too. Let me go back to this part real quick here. Let's see, so they don't show the Earth here. Let me see. Are you still showing yours? Let me see what's going on over there. Oh, you're still
Yeah,
showing.
I just leave my
Good.
helicopter camera on play.
Okay, so here when they show that, yeah, that's a total cutscene right there. Does the screen skip? Let me see the time. I'm gonna watch the time and speed, see if it's the video that skips or the view. Okay, so we got 70. I'll be watching this up here. Go.
Jeran, my friend, I need to here at almost 10 p.m.
Okay, yeah, I gotta go too. I gotta be
received a
somewhere
call
for.
from my family. They are waiting for have a dinner.
I know, I'm the same thing. I was supposed to be
forgot.
somewhere.
Yeah, I forgot. I can you know I can pass 5 hours with this SpaceX video. Man, a
I know, you're like
being
me.
here for the first time. Sorry for all the
Oh, no problem. I think it was a good
messy
time.
presentation.
Well, we'll get something together and we'll get together and do a show that we both prepared for rather than this, which was kind of on the fly. I just saw this today, so.
I invite myself, so thank you for accept my myself invitation. I want to say thank you for the people on the chat and have a good night. Happy holidays, happy New Year. Happy
Whatever you want to
Christmas.
say, huh?
So thanks again for having me on board, and wherever you want, we can arrange a really good presentation.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye bye.
Talk to you later, Eero. That was Eero Landucci from Argentina. And that was fun. I wanted to get his opinion on some of this stuff. So when he offered, I said, why not? And he seemed to see a lot of the same things. I try to see what you see on the screen. Oh, yeah, same thing I do. I just wanted to watch that one more time.
Possible.
Right there, okay.
Alright, I'm getting off here for a while.
Yeah, that
Ciao
just
later.
doesn't make any sense to me. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video where I'll put all these together and actually sync them up right and actually have the speed correct, because I don't think that they match at all, and there's just too many of these things flying off here at all different times. And if you guys saw anything that I missed and I haven't watched it closely enough yet,
Grab something.
and yes,
to
I am
eat.
speeding up the speed just so you.
I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming again later today, but podcast is about to be over. I'm getting hungry,
See that again at that.
and yeah,
Here.
I don't know. You guys have a happy holidays and happy New Year. Catch you later.
I just laugh at some of this stuff, man. This is ridiculous.
Earth is flat. Research that.